Right, moving on, the leaders of Turkey, Russia and Iran will be meeting in a bid to secure a lasting truce in northwestern Syria, with attention focused on Damascus's push on the last rebel-held bastion of Idlib. Presidents Vladimir Putin and Hassan Rouhani will join Erdogan in the Turkish capital Ankara for their 5th summit on the Syrian conflict since 2017. Remember, Iran and Russia have been staunch supporters of Syria's President Bashar al-Assad, while Turkey has called for his ouster and backed opposition fighters. The summit in Ankara will bring together leaders who are backing opposing factions in the ruinous 8-year-old war. The focus will be on the Idlib region, which is the last remaining territory held by rebels seeking to overthrow Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. With Rouhani and Putin's support, Assad's position is now looking increasingly secure, especially with Turkey's priority shifting to prevent a mass influx of refugees from Idlib in Syria's northwest. The Kremlin says all three leaders are expected to hold one-on-one meetings before the summit begins. Meanwhile, Turkey has repeatedly threatened to launch a cross-border offensive against Syrian Kurdish forces, whom the US supports as the main fighting force against the Islamic State terror group. The US says it will work with Turkey to clear Kurdish forces away from its border, but Erdogan has dismissed US's claim as cosmetic. Right, shifting focus from West Asia now to the east. A US Navy destroyer has sailed near islands claimed by China in the South China Sea on Friday, a move that will likely anger Beijing. It's the latest flashpoint amid an already escalating trade war, sanctions on China's military and US relations with Taiwan. A spokesperson for the US Navy's 7th Fleet said that one of its destroyers challenged territorial claims in the operation, including what she described as excessive Chinese claims around the Paracel Islands, which are also claimed by Taiwan and Vietnam. The US says this is the latest in a string of events bolstering China's militarization of the South China Sea. Washington repeatedly said that Beijing has been building military installations on artificial islands and reefs in disputed waters. Right, moving on, the White House has confirmed that US President Donald Trump will be attending the Howdy Modi event in Houston on 22nd September. The White House press secretary said in a statement that Trump will travel to Houston to underscore the important partnerships between the United States and India. The US and India will be discussing ways to deepen their energy and trade relationships. Modi's event is known as Howdy Modi, Share Dreams, Bright Future. It's expected to be a big event as at least 50,000 Indian Americans have registered for the rally. Modi said on Twitter that he was delighted to know that Trump will be joining him at the event. He said Trump's gesture signifies the special friendship between India and the US. Meanwhile, Indian envoy to the US, Harshvardhan Shringla, referred to Trump's presence as historic. He said in a statement, and I quote, "Two leaders addressing the Howdy Modi event is historic and unprecedented. It reflects not only closeness and comfort levels in the relationship, but also the personal chemistry and friendship between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump," unquote. So what has Trump got to gain by sharing the stage with Prime Minister Modi? Remember, the US will hold the presidential elections next year, and the politically active Indian American community is a vote bank that Trump would like to woo. Reports suggest that even some prominent Democrats will attend Modi's event. Now, this is not the first time a world leader will be trying to bank on Modi's popularity to win favor with the Indian diaspora. Remember, in 2015, the then UK Prime Minister David Cameron had attended Modi's rally at Wembley Stadium in London.
In an unprecedented development, the US President Donald Trump will be participating in Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's biggest diaspora event which is going to happen in Houston. The Indian Prime Minister is going to participate in Howdy Modi diaspora event in Houston, where the US President will be present, and through his participation he is not only able to give a signal of growing closeness between Washington and New Delhi, but also target the people for the upcoming elections which are going to happen in US. Remember that most of the people who are going to participate in Howdy Modi event will be Indian Americans, and in fact other than this, we know that the Indian Prime Minister has a packed schedule during his visit to United States from 20th to 27th of this month. He will be first day will be in Houston, and then he goes to New York, where he is expected to have a bilateral with his counterpart US President, and the showstopper of his New York visit will be his address to the United Nations General Assembly. Remember, the last time he addressed UNGA was in 2014, where he gave the idea of a yoga day, and that has gathered steam and momentum. This time around there will be a lot of layers to his speech, focusing on various subjects, and everyone will be closely watching. But by and large, an important development has taken place with the US President participating at the diaspora event, which will be one of the largest. The last time such a big diaspora event took place was the Madison Square Garden event in New York, and this will be the largest, biggest time, in a sense that so many people are going to participate in a foreign leaders event in United States. Last time it happened was during the Pope's visit, and now it's the Indian Prime Minister's visit to United States of America.